Everybody, ignore my dancing while I'm at it. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, January window was quiet. Summer plans are forming, and if you thought it was quiet in January, then wait to hear what's going on in the summer. We've got reports from all sorts of people, Andy Mitten, the MEN, the Athletic, all sorts of stuff that paints a quite terrifying picture, if I'm honest, of Manchester United's finances. And I suppose the headline coming out of this is, Nick, we are broke. And if we don't get Champions League football, the summer budget relies on a revolving credit facility, which we'll get into later. Yeah, I'm sorry if it's not a more positive image, but how did that make you feel when you read some of that stuff today?
It don't really come as much of a surprise, really, just because we knew there was a little bit of kind of scaremongering, wasn't there, going into last summer? And all the talk was we can't spend anything. We've got hardly any money, and then they go and spend, an astronomical amount on the attack alone. So then people was kind of like, how on earth have they managed to do that? And which, things we'll get into a little bit later on in regards to the credit facility and stuff was obviously used again. But there's only so many times, well, I think, and a finance expert might tell me different, there's only so many times you can go to the well before the well runs pretty dry. And I think that's why there's such a huge significance on getting European football this season.
Yeah. 100%. You just touched on the credit facility, and that's the first thing we're going to touch on. Reports have said we've used up to 295 million of our 350 pound limit, which explains why we were able to go so hard in the summer. Like we got Mbeumo and we got Cunha, and I don't think we were expecting anything else really, because Hojlund was still part of the team. Like he was being told by Amram that he's part of the team, and then out of nowhere, Benjamin Sesko comes in. So obviously that was on the credit facility. So that leaves us about 55 million in the bank available for, I'm not going to say emergencies, but to use if we need to. But I don't think
emergency.
but I don't think they don't want to use it if they can help it. To me, that's slightly terrifying. Like if we take out the Champions League funding that comes in and maybe possible sales, which we'll get into later, we're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we're operating on a credit facility and pocket change in football terms anyway.
Yeah, well, we're also, as you know, and everyone else who's watching this live at the minute knows, there is a lingering debt over the club that we've been servicing for the past 20 years, which I imagine probably isn't a big help. I mean, I don't know what the actual payments factually are, but it's quite a lot of millions, and it's between 20 and 50 million, I'd imagine, which would be quite nice to also have as well. But we can't because we're servicing their debt. So that's a big part of it. I know they've made some streamline cost-cutting things in terms of staff and all these kind of things. How much of a difference that's made in terms of a budget, and does that budget then allocate to what we would spend, or is that a separate budget? You need people like Harry Maguire to kind of clarify these things. But whatever way you paint it, it's not looking good, is it?
No, the big picture is the debt. Like obviously it was a leverage takeover, and we've been paying it off for the last however many decades. And I was looking at it today, and it's more debt than it was when they first leveraged the club. So effectively, they've been paying interest for the last however long. So they've not actually touched the debt. Well, we've been paying the interest as fans, and the club itself, they haven't put anything into it, the Glazers. So I think INEOS are trying to get to grips with that and trying to wrestle some control, because obviously they don't have full control of the club. So they're only able to affect so much football inside. So that's why you're seeing the likes of the staff redundancies, trying to get players out the door who are on big wages and stuff, which we'll touch on later as well. But yeah, that brings us to a solution. INEOS plan to raise 100 million in player sales in the summer window to fund the rebuild of the midfield, and I imagine a few other positions. We'll touch on the Champions League spot later, but let's touch on specific names. First up, the one that we think will probably all go, Marcus Rashford. Reports mention 30 million to Barca, but Barca want to get it down. They don't want to pay 30 million, which fucking, honestly, penny pinching bastards. 30 million for Marcus Rashford. Is that an insult, or is that fair market value for him right now?
Well, obviously, Man United think it's fair if they've kind of put that tag on it. I think the main thing for United and Ruben Amorim at the time, which is the one thing that Amram's left quite a skid mark on this club, right, in regards to how the team was performing on the pitch. But the one good thing he's done is remove players like Garnacho, who, by the way, had a phenomenal performance last night.
Amazing.
No, he didn't. He didn't have an amazing performance.
Anybody, they could definitely win at Emirates because we did it, didn't they?
We did it, so they must be able to do it.
Do that, though,
and bloody Will from the in-between is set up for a 0-0 draw in a game where you 3-2 down, which is utter madness to me.
Mad.
But anyway, I think the one good thing he did was moving these players on. Now, some people might argue Rashford and Hojlund, if they brought them back to the club, they'd perform how they're doing for Napoli and Barcelona. But I just don't believe that. I just think they had the time. I mean, Marcus Rashford's come up for the academy. He's had years and years and years of instability.
He's had his chances. He's had
his chances. And if he's performing well in Barcelona, sound. If we can come to an agreement, get it done. But if they're trying to penny pinch and they're trying to say they're trying to get below 30 million in today's market, you absolutely have to turn around and say, no, we're going to go sell him elsewhere. And even if he throws a paddy, even if he turns around, I'm happy in Barcelona. Don't give a fuck. Do you think Barcelona wouldn't even sell us one of their wingers for that price now, who's not even as good as Marcus Rashford, like a Ferran Torres or someone like that? Do you think they'd take 30 million? No chance. So a well-established Premier League player like Marcus Rashford with a massive, public image and what he brings, everything, his whole entourage with him, 30 million is an absolute piss take. So I'd happily bring him back, and another club I'm telling you now, will pay more than 30 million for Rashford.
The problem is, obviously, he had his heart set on Barca, didn't he? That's where he wanted to go. He got the loan move. I am positive other clubs came in. There must have been other clubs.
Yeah, PSG were interested for ages.
Yeah, PSG. So, I think, but the problem is, if he drags his feet, he's like, no, I only want Barca. It's going to be it's going to be a Jadon Sancho drama, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
Listen, keep him.
I know it's just another annoyance over the club, though. It's just another fucking thing.
But that's how you build your reputation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree. It's just all the papers and talks what we're going to talk about for the next however many that. It's just a pain in the ass.
I think these guys are performing better because they're in a different environment.
Yes,
simple as that. Like every player that's and maybe people will say, okay,
pressure's
well,
less
different now.
Maybe
it's Rashford at Barca is completely different to Rashford at Man United. So I think it's just better for all parties agreed if they go to them certain destinations and live out the rest of the career. Fantastic. Yeah. But at the same time, we don't want to be fucking mugs. You know what I mean? And take these 25 million for Rashford. That's an absolute piss take. I'm sorry, but it is.
No, I'm so annoyed with that price, but it is what it is. It gets worse. Rasmus Hojlund, Napoli, obviously he's on loan there. He's doing all right. I get reminded on Twitter every time he scores a goal. So, I'm sure he seems to be doing all right. Fee discussed around 38 million with add-ons. We bought him for 72. So, he's roughly talking about 50% loss on a 22-year-old striker. Mm-hmm. Is that acceptable?
Again, these are all kind of decisions made by predecessors, right? These are people who's in charge before INEOS. Yeah. Obviously the investment that we've spent has been heavy in the players that we brought in, but what that will do now is the numbers look bad at the minute because of the bad signings that we've made, but because of the type of recruitment that we've done or starting to do, good age profile, all done well, one good window can make up for a couple of lousy windows. Yes. So if we need to still take a loss on some of these players, with it being Hojlund, who you just mentioned, a 50% loss, it to be honest with me, it might not look great on the books. But I think that will start changing. It'll start turning around. And I think they'll know that. So if you have to take a bit of a loss on Hojlund specifically, that's fine. Yeah. Because I think if you're going, his market value now probably is about 45, 50 million.
Yeah. Well, he was worth, what was it? Wasn't Ollie interested?
We should have bought him for that.
Yeah. Ollie was interested in Hojlund, I remember. Yeah. And I think he was quoted 30 or 35, maybe something around that. And then by the time Ten Hag came around, Atalanta pushed the price up
they were
to take
ridiculous.
The piss. Yeah. And we end up paying 70 odd
Harry
million.
Kane or Rasmus Hojlund. And we went, we'll spend 70 on Rasmus Hojlund.
Stupid decision. So, it's a risk with young players. I get that. Like, young players, you pay top dollar for sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't work. I get that. But there's been too many of that with United. There's been too many times we've bought big money on a young player and it's not worked. Jadon Sancho, Rasmus Hojlund, the list is endless. So, that needs to end. If we're investing in youth, we need to either be sure they're the finished article, like an Erling Haaland or a Jude Bellingham, or we need to pay low fees like we have done for Aiden Heaven, for example.
Patrick Dorgu,
Patrick Dorgu is another one. So, it needs to change. if you're going to pick one to keep out of Hojlund and Rashford for the attacking front, which one would you keep?
That is a tough question. Because we already have, I'm a huge fan of Sesko. I think he's the next big thing.
Yeah.
So I would rather have a more experienced striker there for him to dovetail with. And then we have gone back to a winger system.
Yep.
And I know Michael Carrick wants Marcus Rashford back. So if I had to pick out a one, I'd probably lean towards Rashford because I don't know. Maybe it would be different with him coming back. Rasmus Hojlund, we've seen a better level from Rashford than we have Hojlund.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
Say. So if I'm having to pick one, I would go Rashford. But ideally, I'd like both of them to go.
Yeah, I'm just going to read a couple of comments. Lucky Singh saying we're not broke. I mean, do you work in a financial office? Lucky Singh? Let us know. Yeah. Big up Nick and Sam for Stephanie Griffith. I voted to keep Maguire. Easy questions. Nice to see you, Steph. James McGogan. He's done all right there. Others will be interested in Rashford. I agree. Yeah. Funny things. As a Barca fan, I can tell you a fact. We're going to try and keep Rashford on the cheap under the buy option. Yeah, I know you will, lads. I know you will. Lucky Singh, once we sell Rashford to Barca, Rasmus Hojlund, Napoli, fair market value. I mean, I don't think it's a fair market value, but fair enough. Don't want Rashford anywhere near the club. Cleared out the tox and keep it that way. James McGogan, forgot about that, John. Good point. What point? Greenwood will possibly go a lot this summer. Hopefully 50% of that back. Yeah, that's another option. Yeah. I didn't put that in there, but yeah, that is another thing we could do. Do United want to keep Rashford? Or are they protecting his price, saying he's shite and we don't want him, isn't a great bargaining position? No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. We should refuse to sell him for anything below what the agreed thing was. Like, you can't be taking less.
As well, sorry. If they really like Marcus Rashford and they want to buy him, they should think he's worth 30 million. I'd almost be insulted if I was Rashford if they're turning around saying, I'm not worth 30 million pounds.
We want you, but we don't want to pay.
Yeah, you're not worth 30 million. You're like, what? England international, the things I've won. I'm not worth 30 million. Are you joking?
Yeah,
crazy.
It's not just about transfer fees. It's about wages. So obviously Casemiro's announced he's leaving, 350k a week. Harry Maguire, there's a question mark whether he gets. Apparently the extension won't be activated, but they might try and negotiate a lower contract. So he's on about, I think, is it 250 a week, 250k a week or something?
Is that because of the Europe? Because of
something like that.
Casemiro?
No, Harry Maguire.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, Maguire's on 200, I think, ish. Or just over it slightly.
So that's about 18 million a year.
Okay.
There, and then on top of with Casemiro, it's about 28 million a year. So it's a lot of money. Like, it's a lot of fucking money. Devil's advocate though, we lose Casemiro, we lose Maguire, we lose Rashford, we lose Hojlund. Is that too much experience and potential walking out the door in one summer?
It's a good question. Casemiro's wage cut makes sense because he's announced he's going, right? You don't really want to go back on that. Had he been on 180k a week, would we still be saying the same thing, or would it already been renewed by now?
Yeah, definitely.
That's astronomical amounts of money. Like, that wage should be paid for someone who's one of the best players in the league.
That's two players' wages, isn't it? That's two midfielders you get in. There's two with their
exactly,
wages.
Yeah. So the Casemiro one, I'm not as thingy with. Maguire, you know what? I'm a little against it, to be honest, because I know he's on that amount of money, and it's quite a bit. I think you could probably reduce that slightly. You'll understand that by, say, 20%. I mean, I look over across the pond at Man City. They've got John Stones, who's 31, 32, on 250 grand a week. They've got Ruben Diaz on 250 grand a week, who's both important centre-backs for him. So if you can get Maguire down to 180, having that experience around is so valuable.
I agree.
And it's not like he's falling off. He's still clearly a top-quality centre-back and would go to most places in Europe. I almost said any places in Europe. I need to be careful. Most places in Europe and do a solid top job. On a rolling contract. So I would be more I'd be more interested to push for that deal and try and get that done. I don't want to see him go really, because I think it's valuable for us.
There's reports as well he would be willing to take a wage cut and stuff like that. And obviously,
did he say he wanted to retire?
Yeah, he said that a few times. Yeah, he said that a few times. So like, I would be happy with that. I would be really happy with him to stay, especially with a wage cut and stuff like that. Obviously, we'll touch on the Champions League in a bit, but like, if that does happen, there's a bit of extra funds there, so maybe you don't have to drop it as dramatically as you would do if we don't get into Europe. But that's all an if at the minute. One name that I did leave off on purpose to this bit, Andre Onana. A buyer is being explored. They want to sell him in the summer. What do we do there? How do we sell this guy?
Do you know what? When we was chatting about the show tonight and going through certain bits and what we want to do, I completely forgot Onana played for us. Genuinely.
Exactly.
Because it was one of those ones where everyone was almost so happy to get him out
gone.
and just let him go. People pushed it to the back of their minds and just completely forgot he played for us. And obviously he's coming back on loan. My question would be, and again, this is to people in the chat and to yourself, what do you think his value is at the minute now?
I haven't seen him play. I haven't seen him play in Turkey, so I don't know.
Yeah,
has he been all right?
45, right?
Yeah,
roughly. So I obviously his value is not gone up.
No, it's not 45 million. 20?
Yeah, maybe 20, 25 you can recoup for him. And that, again, it doesn't look great on the books, does it? Because
also, he's got longer
signing.
He's got like, what, 2-3 years on his deal? Like, he signed a 5-year contract, so he's still
another 10-ag thing that he was pushing. Every signing you're looking at here, you're losing 50% on, which is awful for the financial books. It's not great. So
how do you sell him, even if his values? How do you sell him? Because obviously he had a fucking horrendous time at United.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's doing at Trabzonspor in Turkey. I'm not sure, but like the image of Onana, that is difficult to sell.
It's for us. Talk about a skid mark, right? That is something a stain on United's recruitment for sure. He's probably going to end up being one of those situations in it again where you loan him to a European club, someone who's looking for a goalkeeper.
I'm so
let's be honest, Sam. We've been through this rodeo before, haven't we? We know what's probably going to happen. You're not going to get the value you want for him.
Walks out on a free after the end of his contract.
You send him on a loan. You hope for him to have a top performance, and then you start generating a bit of value. Because I don't think he's going to do it at Trabzonspor, with all due respect.
Definitely not. Yeah, he that's the one where I'm like, I don't know how we sell that guy. I really don't. But summary, summer plan, sell Rashford, Hojlund, they are likely to happen. Onana is a question mark because I don't know how we sell that guy. Casemiro is going. Maguire, we don't know yet. So potentially could raise, if all of those guys go, you raise about 100 million. You save about 550k in wages. But the next thing we need to go on, Champions League qualification.
Yes. Yeah.
Based upon all that we've just gone through, are you optimistic that we qualify for the Champions League this season?
It's the $1 million question, isn't it? It's so hard to answer because if we play like we've been playing, I've got no qualms. I think we'll do it 100%. It's 14 games. I don't think we've got necessarily. I think we've got 3 really tough games left. So maybe Newcastle at St. James's Park. I think we play Chelsea. And Liverpool at Old Trafford, is it? I think as well.
Yeah.
With the games we've got left, we've already played Arsenal, City twice, Villa twice, etc. Or maybe we've got Villa again. So in regards to it, I think we can do it. It's just, I don't know. I'm scared to commit to it because obviously with fans, we've been burnt before, and it's whether they can keep it up. And if we stay injury free, that's my answer. I don't know.
I think it's what a Casemiro injury, and then we are in trouble.
Bruno, Le Mans, they're the 3. If they stay fit and we keep them in the team, we'll get Champions League.
I think as well that the form of the teams around us is an advantage as well because City not great, Liverpool not great, Villa like they lost the other week, so the teams around us can't stay anything consistent. So that could be to our advantage. Where at this point, if those teams had any sort of about them like they were last season, we'd probably be round about 9th or 10th about this point, wouldn't we? Like we wouldn't be anywhere near this race. So I do think that's an advantage for us.
But the scary thing is, had Carrick had come in, let's say INEOS pulled the trigger early December, right? Or whenever it was when we went through that tough period when we got like a draw against Wolves and Bournemouth and stuff.
Everton and West Ham.
Yeah. Had he'd come in at that period and kicked off the way he did, where would we be then? You know, like you'd be talking maybe second place, and that's not overdoing it. That's genuine, like the points per game.
Well, what are we like 6 points off Villa? Is it?
Yeah, maybe less. I think
maybe less.
Like 4 points, something like that. And we've just beat the 2 best teams in the country. Arsenal have not lost at the Emirates. City, you can say whatever they want about him. They've still got a bit about him, and we beat him and kept a clean sheet with the attack that they've got. So when you're judging it off that, if they can maintain those levels, you'll have no problems at all. And the pressure, they'll say the pressure's always on when you're United manager, but when you're interim as well at the same time, it's kind of like, if it all goes tits up anyway, I can just fuck off in the summer.
Yeah.
Whereas he's come in and he's like shackles off. So I think we can do it, man. I do.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do hope so.
I don't know if you was going to mention the revenue for European football.
Yeah, we can get into that.
Yeah.
We can definitely get into that. I'm just going to read some comments and then, we'll get into the revenue for European football. John Mahoney, Rashford is a troublemaker. I can see that, yeah. I don't think it's as black and white as that, but yeah. Lucky seeing what's John Philippe Mateta. I mean, I don't want him anymore because he went to AC Milan and he had a knee injury.
Yeah.
And he did tell them and failed his medical. So yeah, let's move past that guy. Mochi, do we need to do this now? Are we doing this now? Right, okay.
You know, that's the routine now.
There we go.
Anytime we go live, he's got to walk across and
ridiculous.
Make a statement. Yeah.
Put Rashford to work in the ticket office, the megastore, car park duty. Fair enough. Mateta's got 8 goals this season. Sack him. Fair enough. Just stick it open to offers. Stick it on Onana's head. That'd be.
Put him on eBay.
Stick him outside the Old Trafford.
Yeah. The price tag on him.
Yeah. We will have our blip, lads. It's the hope that kills us. Yeah, it's always the hope that kills us.
Yeah.
Lucky saying Mason Mount slowly get back from injury. I'm done with Mason Mount, mate. I'm really done with him. James McGrogan has actually asked a question. Thoughts on where this may lead like Mason Mount, Nick?
Yeah, everyone knows I'm a fan of Mason Mount. I like him as a player, but it gets to a point where it's untenable, really. Especially in a season where there's so much emphasis on pushing for these European spots. And if he was fit and available all the time, that obviously helps you a lot more. It increases those percentages. Dave Brailsford talks about small margins, but it really is in the Premier League. Like 1%, 2% can really make that difference. So not having him available, I mean, I don't know what the exact record is, but I'm pretty sure if you go through since he's joined United, how long has he been out for, and how long has he actually played football? I imagine the scales are probably tipped towards being injured more. I'm actually going to do research on that. But when you look at those stats, and it's like you've got to let him go, but then you've got to sell him. You know, so I know he got it himself. That obviously, listen, players don't want to be injured. They don't want to be out all the time. It's frustrating for them. They've got a World Cup year coming up, and he looked like he was starting to get into a bit of form. Manager changes, back injury, not back injury, but back injured again. Tough situation, isn't it, Sam?
Yeah, he needs to go. Also, can we just stop giving people the number 7 shirt until they earn it? Like, no more.
Yeah,
I'm done with the 7 shirt.
Or just give it someone who like Cunha. Like I think Cunha.
I'm done with it.
Is a United
players
player
who just don't fucking deserve the shirt. Like honestly, it does my fucking head in. The one thing before you get into the Champions League revenue, obviously we spent about 212 million last season. Cunha, Šeško, Le Mans, Mbeumo. We've got a net spend of 675 million over the last 5 seasons, which is the highest in England, and a lack of return in terms of like Champions League qualifications, trophies, league finishes, that kind of stuff. That is why INEOS are starting to tighten the net on certain things and having to look at that. But yeah, talk to us about Champions League qualification revenue and stuff.
When you hear top journalists, you Andy Mitten of the world, and people from the Athletic who keep mentioning how important European football is, you can't ignore it. I know it was kind of scaremongering last year, and Casemiro Maguire said the same thing. But obviously we've dipped into that credit facility, and obviously the finances are tight. It's not getting away from it. Yeah. I think United announced or mentioned in their quarterly financial results the other day that typically they would make around £6 million per match day, right? Yeah. In European competition in general, if you make it to the knockouts, that's between 8 to 10 matches. So that alone is around 50 to 60 million pounds.
Especially with now the league formats, there's more matches and there's more potential to sort of
away days, home games, call it whatever you want. Like the United make a lot of money on a match day, which is why they was probably pissed off why I went out the Carabao and the FA Cup, because that's 4 or 5 million per match day. So that alone is big. Not only just that, you attract bigger players. I know we was able to bring in Mbeumo, Cunha, these kind of guys. So we'll still have that pull. But if you want top end players and you're trying to convince them, you need Champions League football. Man United being in the Champions League is one of the biggest things. The tournament needs it. For them to have United back, it would be like that with open arms, like fucking that Mini-Me and Austin Powers. Like, you know what I mean? They want us back in that competition. So you attract a lot better talent. And if you want to compete near the top, if our motto is 2028, we're going to win a league, etc., you need bigger players, a part of that journey who can get you over the line.
Yeah. You can attract, like, I know this is more of a commercial thing, but bigger and better sponsors as well. If you're in the Champions League, you've got spotlight. So obviously the sponsors we get are still quite big despite where we are as a club, because United brand still means a lot across the world. But imagine you're playing in Europe and you're being shown to different countries across the world multiple times a week, not just once a week that we are doing now. Like, sponsors are going to want that, especially in the stadium and things like that. Like, that's going to be shirt sponsorships, that kind of stuff like this. That's going to help us as well. We've already done extremely well with the sponsors that we've got, considering the position we're in. But I think that does even better if you do end up in the Champions League. And like you said, the players, that's the thing we want the most, is top players playing for the club.
What comes with that as well, though, is if you do get into European football, I mean, we're only in the Premier League at the moment, right? So it's quite easy to manage the squad. You get into European football, you're going to have to buy a deeper squad as well.
And rotation becomes key.
Theoretically, you've got to spend more and then be smarter with your recruitment, because you're going to need a lot of experience in the summer, because players like Maguire might leave, like Casemiro might leave, who are, I mean, they're so important in European football.
And in Champions League, Casemiro there's nobody who matches.
Yeah, no one can replicate what he's done in the Champions League really, unless you go buy a player from Madrid or Luka Modric, a 40-year-old Luka Modric. Yeah. So I mean, I would not want to be INEOS heading into the summer, not knowing whether we're going to have that European football or not.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation, which is why finishing top 4, top 5 is
even
more important. Like,
it's going to be top 5, right? Because of the coefficient.
Yeah, I think it probably will. But it probably will, because all the English teams qualified, didn't they? Whether that's playoffs or whether that's like automatic. So I think we probably will get the extra place. But yeah, a couple more comments and then we'll wrap up. We offload Dallo? I mean, John, like, we've been through this the other day, mate. Like, just accept he's going to be here. Like, he's not.
And also, he has been playing better the past couple of years.
Yeah, but he's just. I know we've been here before. He's one of those players. He's just going to be here. What
I don't like though, Sam, in the fan base sometimes, people will just, like Maguire at it.
Oh, I hate it. People still on our day, they just comment saying he's shit. I'm like, have you watched him?
Like, and it's like living in 2022. Like, if the player is performing well, we are called fans. We're called supporters. Yeah. Support the player, back him. If you don't think he's good enough, that's absolutely fine, of course. But I don't know. I think he's played all right the past couple of games, personally.
I agree, but again, I think the club likes him. His work ethic, the way he speaks, all that sort of stuff.
He's a good lad.
Like, he just, like, he's gonna stay. So yeah. Forget about top 4. It's good to see you positive. Well done, mate. Matt Skitter, Maguire and Rashford keep. Let's hope no one gets injured. Yeah, 100% injuries is everything. Carlos Baliba and Sangare. Look to buy 2 midfielders. Baliba, absolutely. Sangare, I don't think he's been that good for Forest.
Crap.
I don't rate him.
Crap.
Lads, you didn't back Henderson over Onana. His opinion. What?
Didn't back Henderson over Onana. What are you alluding to there? What did we say that, John, in a show? Or
clear that up. Yeah, clear that up.
And also, listen, how many predictions have been made in football that have gone wrong? Football can change within 6 months. Onana was the best goalkeeper in the Champions League for Inter Milan. So forgive us, even if we did sway towards that at the time when Henderson couldn't even get the number 1 spot.
Whoever we bought, it wasn't the guy that we saw play against City in the Champions League final.
Yeah,
we got somebody else.
We got his twin, or we
got somebody else who showed up and he was wearing an Onana mask. Yeah. But he's definitely not him, because what we got was not the guy I saw.
Do you know what? People look back at that experience, won't they? In 10 years' time, we'll go, do you remember Andre Onana? And just look at the clips from the Champions League games and the mistakes that he made. And you're like, what? Did he do this for Inter Milan? Like, all the clips I saw from Inter Milan, I was like, he looks incredible. Like, his shot stopping, his ability on the ball, came through La Masia and Barcelona and Ajax. Like, great football education. And then he gets to United and just fucking shits the bed, doesn't he?
Yeah. And we never saw he was supposed to be like really good with his feet and his passing and all that sort of stuff. And like, they never saw it. I never saw it.
Slightly, and he shit it. Like balls would go out for throw-ins. Yeah.
I never saw it. It's like, we bought this goalie to play out from the back, and he's passing. He's almost as good as an outfield player, and I never saw it.
Do you think anyone's got a shirt with Onana on the back?
Oh, there will be one. There'll definitely be one.
Yeah,
There'll definitely be somebody.
God bless him.
There'll probably be, there was somebody. I imagine there was somebody with a. I'm trying to think of a random goalie now. Thomas Kuszczak. I imagine there's a guy with a Kuszczak jersey somewhere. I imagine that's the thing.
Well, at least Kuszczak didn't make as many mistakes as Onana did. You know what I mean?
No, that's true. But yeah, that is where we're at as United. We have to qualify for the Champions League. We have to finish top 4, top 5, and make sure we're in that competition, not just financially, but to attract players. United deserve to be playing in the Champions League, man. Like, I don't want to hear the Europa League theme song anymore. I'm fucking tired of it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be playing a team from Andorra or fucking just Sheriff FC, wherever the fuck they were from. Like, I'm done with it, man.
Do you think we get European football from now?
Yeah, I think we could do it. I think there's enough momentum behind Carrick now to get us over the line. And with all the other teams not being consistent enough, I think we can do it. It's just like you said, injuries. If we lose a couple of players to injuries, we're in serious trouble. Like I said,
games.
If Le Mans goes down, fucking hell, we've got Bay in there. That'll cost you games. That'll cost you games so many times. But yeah, let us know in the chat who you would keep. I put a poll up with so far. We have got 13% would keep Rashford, 9% would keep Hojlund, 74% would keep Maguire, and 4%, make yourselves known, would keep Onana.
Yeah. Did you say there was a Barcelona fan or something in the chat? Is that what you mentioned
there was.
Before?
Yeah.
That's him, for sure.
Is that him? Keep Onana. Okay.
There's not a single United fan who wants Onana back. I'm sorry, there isn't.
I will take 5 hard punches just to be in top 4. Higgins taking one for the team to get us in the top 4.
Yeah.
James McCoggan, any ideas on midfield targets for summer that aren't a big name with a big price tag, lads, like suitable for the season we have coming? Me and Shreyas have spoken about this guy to death, so I don't want to bug Nick with it. But Angelo Sheila, 35 million euros, easy deal. I know Ruben Neves was available, but he is now signed a new deal, I think. So I think he'd be off the table. If Leeds get relegated, I would take Anton Stack from them all day. I think he'd be relatively cheap. Any names come to mind that are not a big price tag, Nick, that you would like?
Not specifically, but I would like to go Premier League if we are going to dip into that market, because I think European players such murky waters at the minute. You don't really know what you're going to get. Whereas I think you not guaranteed, but if you get an Anderson or Belieber, you know what? We've seen enough of them. We played against them. They can handle the Premier League. There's not as many questions when you do that. You know what? When I see a signing as well, like Tottenham bringing in Gallagher, I just think I don't want a player like that.
It's not inspiring, is it?
Like we're trying to get rid of Manuel Ugarte probably in the summer. I don't want an industrious runner who works hard and is strong. Like I want someone with quality in all fields, who's good on the ball, who can get up and down the pitch, and also it can deal with the pressure. So there's not many players in the world who can do that. But I always like João Neves, but that's obviously not going to happen. So
no. Somebody's posted mentioning Sander Berge. What about Sander Berge? I know you weren't a fan of his when we were linked to him originally.
No. Sander turd.
Tim99, it was traumatic with Onana. It really was. It really was traumatic. Like, just every game was just like, oh my God, what is he going to do this time? Like, when is it going to happen?
Thank God it's over. My God.
Lucky Singh saying we'll smack Liverpool. I hope so. I fucking hope so. I would love
When is that game? Is that more towards the end?
Sure.
Like, I don't think it's in the near future. I think it's in a couple months' time. So,
Steeler be a bargain. I agree, James. I would love to see Steeler. Lucky Singh's just naming players that he wants. I mean, good luck with that, Lucky Singh. I mean, we need the money for that, and we don't have any. But thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on the VOD or you're watching live, we appreciate your support. Leave a leave a comment below in the video if you think we're going to qualify for top 4 or not. If you think if we get to the Champions League, we'd love to hear, and we'll try and reply to all comments. Follow us on Instagram. We're at nearly 10.5K now. Like, we reached 10K recently, and it's fucking flying. So please do come follow us over there.
Yeah.
Follow us on TikTok, all the latest clips, videos, funny stuff. Please go follow there. We're on Twitter, all the latest news. So please follow us on there. We're on Blue Sky, which posts the same stuff as Twitter, but it's less of Elon's pedophile toxicity stuff. So if you want to go over there, we're on there as well. Anything I'm missing, Nick?
No, I think you covered Elon's a paedophile and we've got socials. So
merch. Please do. We've got merch. I've not got the video that Nick normally has. Apologies.
Yeah.
Right. We've got caps, which I'm wearing here, and Nick is wearing. We've got a hoodie. We've got a mug. Please do go check that out. If you're a member as well, there is a discount code.
Oh,
so
cool.
I've pinned it to the membership thing. So if you are a member, you get 10% off. So use the discount code when you go that. Nice little bit off. And yeah, please do go check it out. It's quality stuff. Like I've not skimped. I've not made anything cheap. That's why, and I've tried to keep the prices as fair as possible because it is quality material. So obviously it does cost a bit more. So please do go check it out. Yeah, do the Spurs preview tomorrow or Friday. And then obviously we'll be about for Spurs on the Saturday. It's the early kickoff, so we'll be about for pre and post match stuff.
Oh shit, yeah, early Saturday kickoff, innit?
Yeah,
completely forgot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sam, Nick, can you do a montage video of how you guys developed the channel so far? We could do a Q&A. Yeah, we could do a Q&A and we could talk about that. It's not a long story, but yeah, we could definitely do that.
I think it's an interesting one though. I think
yeah.
Like the work that goes into it anyway. Obviously, a lot of people see us for an hour on a live, but there's a million more things that you do.
We don't just switch a camera on and then connect it to YouTube.
No.
And
we are
dick about. So,
both busy constantly. Honestly, it's hard to find an hour in a day to do it. So
we both work in similar industries as well. Like I work in paid social media, and Nick works in organic social media. So this is what we do all day, every day, pretty much. So yeah, it's a good job. We love football because
it really is. It really
is. This would be killer if especially United, how bad they've been recently. But yeah, please do go check all that stuff out. All the links are in the description. Leave a comment if you think we'll qualify for Champions League.